Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, let's start with the whole. How do I sit there and put it? Well, let's start off with Carly and Brett. So, Brett tells Carly about the bad news, and Carly does what everyone expects her to do, lash out at Brett. And of course, that's what she did. I'm feeling very conflicted because part of me was really pissed off at Carly. You know? I mean, Britt is already sitting there kicking herself, really sad, really just broken up about the fact that Jason's gone, and she's already blaming herself. And now you have Carly going in on her too. It's like, are you kidding me? So I don't want to sit there and say I lost respect for her, but she just was just like, really? But at the same time, grief is a very powerful emotion, and which I'm not saying is right, but and I'm not giving her a pass, but I understand where she's coming from as far as being upset with Britt. She just lost somebody that was probably the second most important person in her life besides her kids. So I understand that she's angry and Britt is an easy target, and so I get it. Now, Sonny at the same time received the news from Anna. And Sonny's into there. Well, first of all, he's just broken up about it. He's also worried about Carly. Now, towards the end of the episode, Carly's outside on the patio. She's upset. She's crying and stuff. And Sonny turns around because he hears something. He sees her, so he starts walking towards her. And he kind of realizes that, yeah, she already knows. So, there's that. Now you have Drew seeing Sam and Dante and stuff like that. And after somewhat of an awkward visit with his daughter, he tells them the bad news. So now, he doesn't even really have time to sit and kind of make sure she's okay and stuff like that because he got to head over to Monica's place before she hears news from somebody else. So, Sam is kind of brokenhearted about the whole thing. And on top of that, it's like, my kids get a father, one of my childs get their father back and the other child loses their father. So it's just like, just a mix of emotions with Dante there. So, Brooklyn is, well, first of all, you got Brooklyn, Chase, and Ned. And Ned is pretty much acting like a dick to Chase. They all get into the living room, including Olivia and Monica. And that's when Brooklyn tells everyone the news that Chase is the father. And, Ned is upset. It's kind of awkward a little bit. Monica isn't really surprised because it's like, well, we're Quartermain, so it's kind of just another Monday afternoon at this point. Before everyone really get a chance to digest the news, Valentine comes in. So Valentine comes in, and long story short, he pretty much tells everyone that he's taking back the company since their contract was null and void. Now, one second. So contract's null and void, he's taking back the company. Now at this point, Brooklyn seems like she's surprised, like, oh, how could you do that? And like she's also, just all shocked and like you knew that he was planning on revenge. Hell, you told Chase and Maxie that he was planning on doing something. So why are you surprised when he just storms on in and is like, yo, I'm taking back the company? So Brooklyn said something that was just, very bitchy. Talking about, oh, well, Scout isn't, not Scout, Bailey isn't yours and you need to get over it. And just be like, So at this point, they're both going back and forth with each other. Valentine Smith, they're talking about how she's pretty much useless since she doesn't have her voice anymore. So they're both kind of just really terrible people to each other. Chase punches him in the face. And Valentine also made sure that the turkey got eaten by the dog because, it wouldn't be a Quartermain Thanksgiving without them not actually having turkey. But to be fair, at least this one felt more organic than when Monica took away the turkey, so that way they can have some sort of an argument. Because I don't know, when not Austin, when Franco thought he was Drew, she wanted him to experience a Quartermain Thanksgiving, and at least this one felt a little more organic. So there's that. Now Drew does get over there, and that's Monica's like she's about to sit there and call up to get some pizza. Drew comes there with a bunch of boxes of pizza, and Monica is like all happy and stuff like that. And it's gonna be very, very, very short lived in the next episode. So, Marshall tells TJ, after going around in circles for about a good 2 minutes straight, finally tells TJ that he's his grandfather. So in the beginning, it was a little kind of awkward and a little kind of frustrating for TJ because not only was he sitting there playing around like he was sick, going around in circles, talking about Curtis, but not really sitting there really going too much into it. So in the beginning, it was a little kind of awkward. But then things kind of smoothed out a little bit. And it seemed like, TJ seemed like he was kind of happy to sit there and meet his grandfather and stuff. Of course, that was very short-lived because Curtis walked in and Curtis was like, the hell are you doing? Now, mind you, Marshall's like, yo, we're in a church. What are you doing? So Curtis is like, yo, listen, you need to leave the room. They go at it again. Curtis just wants nothing to do with him. But, Marshall was like, all right, listen, I get we still got this thing going on right now. But, let TJ decide for himself. So he's like, all right, fine, whatever. Now, mind you, TJ is outside talking to Portia. It's not there talking about Marshall and stuff like that and just wondering if Curtis is going to be okay. Now, we have this whole thing with Liz and Finn, and I'm going to be honest, it didn't really go anywhere, except for, their usual, flirt with each other with violence there. And then you have this whole other thing with Nina and Phyllis both feeling sad about the holidays. So, they all decide, because Portia's not there, 1 second. Now, Portia's supposed to be sitting there hosting the whole Thanksgiving party or whatever. TJ, Portia was like, figured that, Curtis is kind of down and that, he wasn't going to come to her Thanksgiving. So when TJ was sitting there talking to Curtis about, why don't you sit there and come with us to Thanksgiving? And, Curtis was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not good company right now. I'm just not in a good headspace. I'm just going to go to the office and get some work done. And TJ's like, all right, fine. I'm going to come with you. Now, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that, Curtis didn't sit there and try to fight him a little bit on it. Like, you don't want to sit there and come with me, on Thanksgiving night, sit there and be doing boring like paperwork and stuff like that. You want to be with family and friends. But he decides, all right, fine, whatever. You're going to be stubborn. So long story short, he gets to his club, and everyone's like, surprise! And I'm like, but it's no one's birthday. Why are we saying surprise for? But they all like gather around and get ready to eat and stuff like that. So it's fine. I mean, it was a Thanksgiving episode, not on a Thanksgiving day. So okay, fine. Now I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that's about it. And this is the second time that I want to do this review. One, because I didn't like the way the first one came out. And two, because I felt like it was very short, like I was missing some stuff. Then I kind of realized I wasn't. I mean, Nina and Phyllis didn't really do too much of anything. They didn't really talk about anything significant except for the fact that they are both, holidays and, sadness and everything like that. Missing family and loved ones. So they did that. Most of, like, the three stuff that I was talking about as far as Sunny and Anna and Drew, Dante and Sam, and Carly and Britt all kind of revolved around the same thing. Telling them that Jason was gone. So, in a lot of ways, there's nothing else really happened more than that. And I was thinking once, like, why the hell is it so short for? Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Um, oh yeah, and I talked about the whole Finn and Liz and Violet and them flirting with each other, so there's that. Um, Good episode. Well, yeah, it was a decent episode. I felt like I'm not gonna laugh. Kind of felt like Finn, Liz, and Violet, and Nina, and Phyllis were both kind of unnecessary to this episode. Really did. I think that's why I probably had so much little to say about them, because it was like, all right, you were there, but like, what did y'all really do? Anyway, I feel like that's about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. Also, before I go, Soap Sanctuary did a video, his perspective on Jason, Steve pretty much getting fired, and, why, and the whole thing or whatever from his perspective. But I gotta sit there and say it was a really good video. So I did a video also, and I kind of felt like we were both kind of on the same page. So yeah, definitely check it out and let me know what you think of the video. I enjoyed it. It's funny. I was actually planning on, because it's a 20-minute video. I was planning on watching just the first 10 minutes this morning, but I started getting into it and I watched the whole thing, and it was actually pretty good. So definitely check it out. I'm going to leave the link to the video in the comment section below, in the description box below. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.